Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have a Throwback Thursday makeup tutorial for you. For this segment of Throwback Thursday, we're going to be using the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. I recently got a comment on one of my videos. It might have been actually my last Throwback Thursday with the Naked palette asking me to do a tutorial using this palette, so I figured I would just turn it into a Throwback Thursday. I know that this isn't necessarily like the oldest palette on the market by any means, but it is a palette that's been sitting in my collection, and I just wanted to use it. The look I created was actually pretty simple. I just did kind of like a warm bronzy shade. I did use a lot of shades, but I felt like the technique was super simple. This isn't anything crazy. Again, the purpose of these videos are just to kind of inspire you guys to pull older palettes out of your collection, but I did kind of want to keep this one a little bit more wearable. I decided not to use any of the purple shades in this palette because I wanted it to be like super warm and fun, but then I did go ahead and throw on a super vampy purplish glossy lip to keep that peanut butter and jelly vibe, if you guys know what I mean. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this week's Throwback Thursday makeup tutorial. Definitely let me know what kind of palette you guys would want to see next on this kind of video, and let's just get on into the video. The first shade that I'm going to be taking for this makeup look is the shade Peanut Butter out of the palette. This is just a gorgeous, warm, red toned brown. It's honestly best described as like a peanut buttery shade. It is so rich, and I'm really building this up in my crease. Not only is this going to give us that nice warm fall vibes, but it's also going to give us a lot of definition in our crease, so the look doesn't look so flat. It's going to make everything look nice and blend out even smoother. So I'm just going to go ahead and really build the shade up, probably more intense than I would usually do with my transition shades, but like I said, I want this to look very intense, and I'm using my Morphe M433 as always. And of course, going in and blending out that transition shade, just because when I tend to pack on a lot of colors, sometimes it can like skip some spots in my eye, sometimes it can create some harsh lines. So I just want to make sure everything is nice and smooth and blend it out super nice and even, and that is my Morphe E23. Next, I'm going to be taking the shade Spread the Love. It's just like a really light peachy shade. I'm just going to be using this to help further blend out the edges, because like I say in so many makeup tutorials, sometimes taking a little bit of a lighter shade can really help the darker shade blend along, and it'll help blend up into my brow bone a lot more seamlessly. Moving on to my eyelid, I'm taking the shade Peanut Butter Cup on a Sigma flat shader brush and really just packing this on my lid. This is where I'm going to start bringing in the bronziness. This is a bronze shade and it has some gold flecks in it. It's super pigmented. I love how it plays with the warm shade on the eyes, and it's just overall such a gorgeous eyeshadow. It really looks like such a delicious chocolatey shade, and like I said, it reflects so nicely with the little gold bits. So I'm just going to be taking this and packing that on my eye. This shadow does work better in packing rather than swiping, and it is going to look a little bit messy at first, but of course we're going to go ahead and blend it out. This is the shade Nuts About You, probably in my opinion the most pretty shade in the palette. It's a straight up warm red brown. I'm taking this in between the transition shade and the Peanut Butter Cup on the lid. This is going to be like that in between crease shade, and it's really going to help blend and mesh those two shades together so everything looks nice and seamless. When it comes to blending this eye look, I'm definitely not afraid to take it a little bit more higher up towards my brow. I didn't use tape on the corner of my eye. I wanted this to look kind of more blown out, more smoky, more sultry, rather than super clean and cut and put together. So that is why I'm kind of just like blending it up, and I'm not really being too precise with that. For my lower lash line, I'm going back into Nuts About You. I wanted a super intense lower lash line. This isn't something that I do often, but again, I wanted this look to be kind of sexy and sultry, and I think a super intense lower lash line really helps bring the look together and kind of give that vibe. So I'm taking that on a small pencil brush. I think this is the brush that came with the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette, and I'm going to be pressing that super close into the lower lash line, really saturated, flipping the brush over and giving it a light blend with the fluffy side, and then of course going ahead and doing that on the other eye. And I just wanted to point out that as you can see on the outer corner, I did kind of connect it to the shadow that's on the outer upper lid of my eye, if that made any sense. So once I'm about done with my lower lash line and I get eyeshadow all over my contact lens, I'm going to be taking the shade Bananas. This is a super gorgeous reflective yellowy gold shade. I think it complements all the shades in this palette stunningly. Is that even a word? Anyway, I'm going to be applying that onto my inner corner as my highlight, but of course I didn't necessarily think it was the most intense shadow, or just personally for me, you guys know I prefer a super intense inner corner highlight, so I just took a little bit of Nylon by MAC to top off that inner corner, and then it was as vibrant and as bright as I wanted it to be. For my lashes today, I'm going in with my Essence Lash Princess as always. I did a lot of this though, like I did really thick and heavy coats just to make sure my lashes looked really thick and black, but I didn't have to wear falsies. And then for my lips, I'm using the Ofra lip liner in the shade Maya. It's a really stunning, gorgeous, deep plum shade, and when you work with a deep lip, I recommend using a lip liner. It just helps you stay inside the lines, and it just kind of makes the process overall a lot easier and a lot neater, because if you know anything about working with a deep lip or lip gloss, it is super hard to be neat sometimes, especially a product like this. This is the NYX Intense Butter Gloss in the shade Toasted Marshmallows. Glosses bleed like crazy, and the lip liner is just going to help it kind of stay in place. So I'm going to be applying that all over the lips. It's like a super shiny, deep purple shade that kind of reflects like the jelly to like the peanut butter on my eyes. So once the lips are done, that is going to complete this week's Throwback Thursday using the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. Let me know what palette you guys want to see me use in future Throwback Thursday tutorials. You can leave me a comment or reach out to me on my social medias, and I believe that is it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.